ShredMentor Challenge of the Day number 192. Here's how it goes. Okay, so might be thinking like, well, what the hell's going on here? So we're basically speeding up by the next faster subdivision each time, but they're not all related subdivisions. So the big thing today is combining unrelated subdivisions of the same tempo, of the beat in the same tempo. All right, so I started off, I had to go basically a bit slow to start with because those are the eighth notes. So in order to leave room to play the sextuplets, I had to, of course, go slowly enough that you always have to go slowly enough that you can keep up with whatever the fastest thing is that you're going to do. All right, that's the basic idea. So the very slowest subdivision of the beat, you're of course not going to be terribly challenged, but the challenge is to make it interesting still. Okay, so this is really meant to kind of just be one example of some things that you can do to make your playing a lot more interesting, because you're going to tap into some different, more unrelated types of rhythms that sometimes they don't really occur to some people. All right, so a lot of people don't even think to do this kind of thing, but really if you go out of your way to combine eighth notes and triplets and 16th notes and 16th notes and sextuplets together back to back like that, you can get a lot more interesting types of phrases, and they're not going to be quite as likely to be predictable in any way, because you're combining things that don't just naturally occur to everybody. All right, so let's break down what happened in this particular example, but I really want you to take ideas that you know how to use and purposely go out of your way to combine different unrelated subdivisions in your music and your soloing. All right, so here's what we did today. I used the A harmonic minor scale, so I basically did one measure of 4/4 for each of the four subdivisions I dealt with. So at first it was eighth notes, and I just started with the root A, and I just basically ascended from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there we go. I went to the next note. Since I was just ascending through that part of the A minor scale, I went up to the raised 7 of harmonic minor, and I started doing a sequence of 4 descending, but I made it sound like triplets. So this is another fun little thing to do, is take a pattern that kind of already lends itself to one rhythmic accenting pattern and force it into another rhythmic accenting pattern. So that's an extra bonus in this one. All right, so I'm basically accenting it as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but I'm actually playing just 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it leads me back to my A. All right, so I'm forcing a sequence of 4 3 times to sound like 4 sets of 3 triplets. All right, so that in itself can take a little bit of practice, but that's just what I decided to fill that measure with. All right, so we're doing triplets for 4 beats. Next, it leads us back to our A. So what I did in this case was a more sequence of 4s, but this time I went into straight 16th notes. I did the first one all on one string, so I did a slide on the very first one. 1, E, and And then from here, I did the next 3 of them from this hexachord, basically, starting from the 2 of the scale. Again, harmonic minor. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, raised 7. And that allowed me to come right back to what would have been my next note for the next phrase, but now I'm doing overlapping hexachords 4 times. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, passing tone, and finish on the 5. All right, so all that together, again, it's really just an example of ways that I could fill in that kind of rhythmic accenting pattern as I'm going. So it's really more built on the rhythm in this case, and I'm mostly just choosing phrases that will allow me to fulfill that rhythmic criteria. All right, so one more time, more slowly than the first time, which means very slowly at first. You give it a try, and I'll see you again tomorrow.